Awesome. Well, welcome everybody to our weekly team Zoom. It is Monday night, April 30th, and Justin and I are super excited for our Zoom tonight. We're excited every week, but tonight we're really excited to have Shannon and Ryan share with you. They are incredible, and I actually have only talked to them through the phone and Zoom. And so Justin will be back in just a second. But Justin has been to Michigan several times with them. And every time he's just like, Hilari, when you meet them in person, you're going to love them. He's like, they're so real. They just really care about people. They care about their family. They care about each other. And so, I mean, that's obviously, if you've watched any of their Facebook lives, if you haven't, you're missing out. You guys have got to get on Facebook and watch Shannon and Ryan and what they're doing with their family and their team and themselves. And so without further ado, I am going to let them kind of share, just if you guys want to share, your story just kind of before Isogenics, like if you've done what we kind of talked today, Shannon, but if you guys have tried other programs before, kind of where you were in your mindset before Isogenics, and then we'll kind of ask you some questions as we get going, and it's going to be awesome. So, all right, everybody.
We're good to go? Good to start?
We're good. We're
All
good.
right. Always been heavy, Ryan and myself both, and we have tried a lot of things. We've done Weight Watchers, and we've been successful at that for like a short period of time, and then weight would come back on. We've done no junk food challenges through our kiddos' schools, and we do really great, and we would take like 10 pounds off, and then we would be right back at it. Ryan's done what, Slim Fast?
I've done anything that you've seen or heard over the last 30 years. I've done it. I mean, I've been heavy since 6th grade. So
Wow.
It's been a difficult journey to get this weight off and get it under control.
And we really, truly, like, even though we've always been very big, since we've had our kids, in the last few years, we've really tried to make like healthier choices, whether it was buying, trying to get stuff that's non-GMO or trying to buy stuff that's organic, incorporating some of that. But still, I mean, 315 pounds, and the heaviest I've ever been was 270 pounds. We are still not healthy by any means.
And so what happened? What changed for you, Shannon, that you guys decided? Share with us your journey.
Okay. I'm gonna warn everybody because I might cry. I cried on my live tonight when I shared it, but
she's gonna cry.
I'll cry for sure. It's a given. Okay, so Ryan was put in the hospital a couple of years ago.
October 2016.
And I am somebody that I don't take a lot of medicine. I tend to be, I'm just kind of like a tough person. So when he had complained that he wasn't feeling well and he was going to go to the doctors, I was like, okay, just go and see what's going on. And he called me at my work and told me that they wanted him to go to the emergency room immediately. And I was like, okay, should I be concerned? Should I leave work? Should I, what should I do? And he said, no, I'm just going to go. They're just concerned. I'm going to go there and see. Well, then I had got a call from my mom not long after, and she was like, you need to get to the hospital right now. They're asking Ryan about like his living will, like you need to be here. And what had happened is he had a blood clot that traveled to his lungs. And even though it wasn't anything, they didn't weight related.
I had tweaked my knee, and it was a freak thing. It clotted in my knee. So it clotted from my knee to my calf and from my knee to my hip. And I worked all week long and didn't go to the doctor, and I was coughing at work, and a piece had broke off and went into my lung.
Very scary.
So, yeah, it was bad.
And then the only thing the doctors could say was that, he really needs to lose weight, which we've been knowing forever and tried this and that and the other thing, and it's not taking off enough weight. And that was their huge concern. And then Lou, who is on here, I can see her on the Zoom now, Ryan's aunt, who he hadn't spoken with in like 20 years. She had been for 18 months talking to us about Isogenics and giving it a try. And we were like, we can't afford it. I mean,
Every excuse in the book.
Every excuse, but
we can't afford it. Nope, we're already doing something. We walk around the block with the kids, like anything you can think of, or you guys have all heard before, we said.
Oh, we had a million excuses. My kids were even my excuses. And cost was huge, though. That was a big thing for us. We live with our in-laws in the basement. We had lost our home. We've been here, and then health issues with them. So we've stuck around, and we've just been pretty much trapped here. It feels like. And we went out to eat one day on my lunch break at work, and I wanted to make a healthier choice. So we went to Panera, and that cost $34. And then we took our family out to
How did I turn on the volume?
Hold on, I'll mute that, Shannon.
Okay.
And you'll have to just unmute yourself again.
Got it?
There you go.
Okay. And then, so that was $34. And then we went out
just for me and her.
Went out to the steakhouse with the whole family, and that ended up being about $80. So it was like 70 some dollars. And then with our tip, and we looked at each other and we were like, we've been saying no, to trying this. And we just spent over $100 to eat
on 2 meals.
2 meals. And we didn't think twice about it. We thought we were doing something good. And then it was like, we've really been making excuses. And then thank goodness, Lou never gave up on us, and she kept sharing and asking and sharing and asking, and we said yes.
And so I think that's a great point. 2 things, you guys. Like, number one, when people are giving you a cost objection, I'm going to throw some little learning moments in here. Don't let that. I just got off a Zoom right before this, and people said, what do you do when you get a cost objection? And that's why you have to know how to say to them, where do you buy your groceries? And you have to be able to draw out you share, they share. And you have to be able to say to them, I would have asked you, Shannon, when you said, I talked about the 30-day system, and you would have said, we can't afford it. I would have said, well, what do you pay now per meal? And if you didn't know, I would have said, well, give me some examples of where you eat. And then I could have easily showed you that you would have been saving money with Isogenics. And I would have shown you share, they share right away, because it's an easier way, you guys, to overcome that cost objection. And I think, like you said too, Shannon, I could hear that in your voice. You have to be ready. People have to be ready, right? To want to lose the amount of weight that you and Ryan have both lost, which is incredible. You have to be ready. And so if you have family members, like you said, Lou and, Bill were talking to you for, a year or 18 months, but you had to be ready. So, when people aren't ready, you guys, just be consistent. They said she just kept talking to them and kept talking to them. So if you have people on your list that have said no, don't mark them off. I mean, just write down the date you talked to them last. And I always say to someone, this may not be for you right now, Shannon, but I typically follow people every 30 days. Would it be okay if I followed up with you next month? And you guys, that way, when you call people back, you don't feel like, oh, I'm bothering them again. They've already given you permission to call them back. So anyway, go ahead. So you went ahead and called Lou, or what happened?
Yeah, and it had gone back and forth even with her, that we're going to do it. We're not going to do it. We're going to do it. We can't afford it. We're still, it was ridiculous. I know we drove, if she was unmuted right now, she'd tell you, we drove her crazy with the back and forth.
Bill crazy.
And then she helped us with our first pack. I came home and I actually, crazy, had a garnishment from one of my student loans that they had taken too much money out, and they gave me a check that day back, and it was like $300 and some, and we were like, we're doing this, we have the money, we're doing it, let's just try. And there's no going back from that day.
No.
So tell us about your journey. So tell us what's happened since that first box.
Since that first box, so many wonderful things. The first 30 days, I think that was key to the results. Before we even started, Lou had told us, she said, whatever you do, give it 30 days. Like, ditch the pop, whatever else you're doing, follow this exactly the way it's intended to be followed. Follow the program and then just see. And so we were like, okay, well, we're spending this amount of money. We don't want to waste it. We want to make sure we're doing exactly what it is. And we both lost over 20 pounds, each of us. in that first 30 days. And then when you see those results, I mean, you want to keep going. And then it wasn't, I got to say something for Bree here. She's on here right now. And it wasn't long after that, the Fall Fit and Fabulous Challenge, entered that. And I didn't even know what a burpee was, guys. She threw those burpees in there. If you know her and those burpees,
Yeah.
I had no clue
We had
what
to
a burpee
Google it.
was. I Googled it. I showed my 14-and-a-half-year-old daughter a burpee in the yard, and I was so afraid I was going to like do a belly flop and land. I couldn't do it. And the people in
I couldn't do it
Isogenics.
either. I was like, oh, I got this, and went down. I was like, I can't do that. No.
No, it's so difficult, but just that belief and believing, breathing that belief into us, the community. It's not even just, the nutrition is amazing. It's incredible, but the people that you meet along the way that motivate you and push you and inspire you. She believed in me before I did, and I was like, this lady doesn't even know me, and she's loving on my posts and saying all these nice things to me, and I'm like, I'm going to do this. I can do this. That was the first time, aside from the 30-day pack, the first time that I did something, and every day I did what I was supposed to do in that challenge. Every day I did it.
Yeah.
And then more weight was coming off. We won that challenge.
And that was the first time ever in probably 25 years that I did something for 30 straight days, and I stuck to it, and I stuck to the rules. And that's when I saw deep down in myself that anything is possible. And if I can do this for 30 days, why can't I do this for the rest of my life?
And then I definitely have to say, because the whole, because we've had transformations physically, emotionally, and now financially, and I know we'll get more into that, but that was a big thing too. When I said yes to doing this, I said no to the business. I said, don't tell me anything about it. And I can remember Lou's handing me the folder, and she had like the executive chart in there, and she was a little shaky, and she was like, I know you don't want to talk about this, but it's in there. And she, she had went over it, and she said, for when you do. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I have a job, and I'm a mom first. Amy Van Holla, I don't know if she's on here, but I told her that a lot of times, that I was a mom first, and that was my job, and I was a preschool teacher. And once people started seeing the transformation, then it was, that attracted a lot of attention.
So two things again, Shannon. So one is, what I want you guys to understand who are listening to this is that Bree is not financially linked to them in any way whatsoever. So, just when you see people who are getting started and who are like, just pour belief into other people. That's so important, is that when Shannon felt like somebody believed in her, that's what made the difference. I could see Bree crying a minute ago. If you know Bree, Bree's our crier, so her and Shannon are a good pair. But it's somebody believed in her. I think that's so important. And then as she said, she's a mom first. I think, so many of us, and take this right, because I'm a mom of a lot of kids too, but we can use that as an excuse. But how much better now of a mom, Shannon, now that you're fit and you can run and play and you could do how many of those little wheel things? Holy smokes, when I watch you do those, I'm like, holy Christmas. He does these wheel rollouts that I don't even want to try. But but now don't you feel like you're so much better? Like you can just do more. And
so much better. There's nothing that compares to the woman and the mom that I am now, and I'm always going to be from here on out. There's no going back.
None whatsoever.
Isn't it awesome? It's so much more than a shake.
It's so much more than a shake.
It's so much more than the nutrition. It like literally is. Like she said, this community is overwhelmingly loving, and it is infectious. When you get into this community and you see these people, and they are, like Bree, putting love out there to people that they never even met before, you want to do the same thing to the next person. And that's where the lives start changing, and that's where it becomes this lifestyle. And you want to just grab everybody you can and bring them with you, because it's something else. It's unexplainable. It is totally different, and there's nothing I would change other than saying yes sooner, because seriously, like, this has been an unbelievable ride, and there's no way we're going back.
That's awesome. And because Ryan is always on, so Justin and Chris Michaels and Ryan Waskey, and there's a whole group of you guys. Every
Tuesday.
It's Waskey. Anyway, we argue about Kim and Ryan's last name all the time. But anyway, but Tuesday nights and Chad O'Gara and a bunch of, I always say the twins' husbands, and Derek Hightower, and I'm going to miss some of you guys, so I shouldn't have started listing names, but Luke and Jesse, and just so many men are getting on every Tuesday night at what time?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, and they're calling it Isa Bros. So if you are listening and you're a male, or if you're a female and you have a male in your home, get them on there. I mean, these guys, I went out a couple weeks ago and I was like, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, get out of here. So it's like their call where they talk about how they do it and why they're doing it. And it's awesome. And so, I mean, Ryan, I know that you're always on there and always participating in that. And I think, it's like the old saying, right? Like an iron is plugged in when it's hot and it unplugs and it's cool in a minute. It's the same thing to be plugged into the community of people. And you guys are always on, the calls and participating in things. And I think that's just been an important part of it. You just talked about community. I always see you, with your team. We just did a March Madness promotion that we ran and your team won that as well. And so, just committed. So, but what was the shift in your mindset? Because to go from where you were physically, so tell them how much, first of all, you guys can tell them how much weight you've lost as of now.
It's amazing. I am down 60 pounds and building up some major muscle. I like to show these arms off now because I can't believe I have big muscles. And Ryan, where you at?
Ryan reached a pretty big goal this past weekend, and I am 102 pounds lighter.
Woo!
So,
Since August, 102 pounds, you guys. So
34 weeks.
34 weeks. Is that incredible? So he will be at Celebration on stage as a member of one of the 100-pound club. So
And
if you're going to be
Ice Body Challenge finalist.
Yeah, and possibly an Ice Body Challenge finalist. So you guys, you have to, if you're going to be at Celebration when Ryan comes out, we have to cheer, but we're so excited
Amazing
for that. So, and I know everybody's been really helping Ryan and cheering him on. And I know Dad's really been helping him with some nutrition and stuff. So we are grateful for that too. So
you guys help us every day too. So thank you.
Yeah. What was the mindset shift though? What happened? Was it a moment that it happened, or was it like something in your mind had to have said, we're done doing that? You know what I mean?
Yes, like done, like for the financial aspect or just physical?
For the physical part, for you just to say.
Oh goodness.
I mean, was it no? Was there not a moment? Do you know?
It came down to that point where it was, we think we were cooking good dinners, doing things, and then the kids would go to bed and we'd go get fast food at 11 o'clock at night. And, I'd eat a whole nother meal 2 minutes before I lay my head down. And, it got to be the point, the hospital, really struck a nerve and, that was one of the scariest moments of my life. I literally thought laying there I was going to die because this blood clot went into my lung, and the doctor said, had it went to your heart, you would not be here right now. And that was pretty scary. And
but after using isogen, when do you think you had the aha moment? Because I can just tell you,
it was after that first month.
Yeah.
When I sit at a desk 8 to 5.
Yes.
And I did the nutrition, strictly the nutrition, no working out, no exercising, and I lost 33 pounds the first month. And that's when I knew. I was like, all right, you've got to be kidding me. Like, it wasn't just a 5-pound loss after a month. It wasn't just that, busting my butt in the gym and then seeing 1 pound after 2.5 weeks. I lost 33 pounds the first month just on the nutrition. And
Awesome.
That's when my mind clicked and I said, this is going to happen. And I wanted to lose as much weight as I could. And it could, the time frame goal wasn't there until later on in the journey, but that first 30 days is what clicked in my mind, where it was like, this is possible. And the way I was feeling on this nutrition, just catapulted the whole thing because it was something I'd never felt before.
Yeah, and I just think for me too, just being a mom, it's so time saving for me.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 4 kiddos. One is, she's she just graduated from the fire academy, but so she lives out on her own. But we have 3 other kiddos that are here with us, and we've got different sport events, and we're running here and we're running there, and I don't like to use the word busy, productive. Miss Brie O'Gara right there, productive. But it's not overly difficult. I hate to say easy because I know it does take a little bit of work and stuff, and we are working a little bit, but it is really simple. And that's a big part of it too, just mom life. The convenience of it is the results, the way you feel. I mean, there's nothing that beats going from a size 24 pant to a size 12. I mean, being able to do things physically. I mean, before I couldn't do jumping jacks, and I'm a preschool teacher running around with 3-year-olds. Like, I don't think there was one day where it was like, this is it. It just was, I mean, there's just never been a moment truly that I've been like, well, maybe we're not going to do this anymore. From the moment that we started, there's no going back.
We had already made it up in our mind that we were going to take this stuff and run with it.
This is not a diet.
You were committed. I think that's so key that you were committed. You were interested, not going to try it. You were actually going to do it. And so, I mean, how many people now you guys have started sharing with so many people? People have seen your results and you've shared with people. Do you know how many people personally that you guys have enrolled?
It's got to be around 40. I was so against this. I'm thinking there's like 60 people in my downline. I know that's not all me, but it's got to be close to that. And it was after we had met with Justin and we had talked to him, and he just had asked us what would change our life, what amount of money, and we were like,
$54.
$54.10 a month.
Right.
If we cycle one time, we're like, oh my gosh, we cycled one time. Oh, that's so cool. It was
so exciting.
That right there, we were like, that would change our life. And he was like, okay, well, let's try and do this. And we were like, okay.
Yeah, right.
We were like, okay, maybe.
That was $54 a week, by the way.
Well, we did that. Because then when we met you again the next time and we were doing the 54.10 a week, then you told us at the Super Saturday event, you were like, how's it going? And we said, we met those goals. And you said, all right, now I want you to make that. It was like you wanted us to be making even more, like just challenge yourself and try and do this in a week. And I'm not going to lie. I was like, okay. And then I was like, Ryan, how are we going to do? Are we going to be able to do this? Like you guys you just believed in us. And it was like, nobody waved a magic wand, but since we've left there, it has been nonstop. I don't believe in any coincidences in life. I believe we are exactly where we're supposed to be. We found Isogenics, and we are where we're supposed to be right now. And I'm not going to stop sharing and helping others. This is it. This is what I was meant to be doing.
That's awesome. Like you can hear the passion in your voice. And I think that's what is so key. Like there are people who've been in Isogenics who are listening to this right now, who've been in Isogenics for 4 years, 5 years, and haven't enrolled 40 people. And they're thinking, why am I not? But do you have the passion you hear in their voices right now? I think that's so key. It's the posture that they're carrying. Like, you're talking to people, you're still losing weight yourselves, but you're talking to people who are wanting weight loss because the results you're having and your belief. And I think that's so important, you guys. Like if your belief, is not a 10 out of 10 in the products, if it's not a 10 out of 10, like their belief wasn't a 10 out of 10 in the compensation, right? So then they met with Justin and it moved a little bit. Then they actually made money and it moved a lot. Like when you actually make money, it's like, oh, wait a minute, they really do pay us. So that's right. I mean, so these guys are now, you want to share with them what your rank is now?
Oh, yes. I am a Crystal Director now. I even changed it on my Facebook page. Like literally, for me, I have a sister that works at a doctor's office. I have another sister that does very well. And for me, I've always been proud of being a teacher, a preschool teacher, because I love kids so much and I've been proud of that. But for the first time, when we had a funeral that we had to go to, and we go through the steps where they're like, so what do you do and what do you do? And it was the first time that I wasn't disappointed in being a preschool teacher, but I was like, I really want to be like, I'm a crystal director for Isogenics, this health and wellness company. I was like super pumped. So I've changed all that. That's changed on my Facebook page. I'm only a couple consultants away from being a crystal executive. It's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. I am not afraid to share the business and what it can do for people because of what it's doing for my family. I know many, many people that not just physically need Isogenics in their life, financially. I have a picture of a house that I Googled. My sister came over the other day and she said, whose house is that above your desk? And I said, that's my house. That's the house that I'm going to live in. And it's not a big house. It is not a big, it's a house that I am going to get my kids out of this basement and they are going to be living in. And you're all invited for dinner because Ryan's one heck of a cook. I can make a really good shake. I'm better at mixing up the shakes than he is.
Yes.
But I'm going to have a house. It's happening. And that little house that I Googled is going to go in a little frame. And my kids saw me print that out and put that up there. And just like they saw Ryan lose 100 pounds, they're going to say, my mom, believed in something and she had this dream and she did it. And it's going to be because of this company. I believe that all the way. I know it.
It happened back in January. I had lost my job out of the blue. Just was fired on the spot. No warning, no nothing. And some really great people shared their belief in us without even knowing us. And it really set the tone for the way our mentality changed in this community of people. And, if it wasn't for Isogenics, we would be worse than what we are now because we had that financial stability, that push from Justin on that Super Saturday to put the fire under our tail end and make this work because I was currently without a job. We had no other income. It was just Shannon's income. And if it wasn't for Isogenics, we wouldn't have a car right now. We wouldn't have the ability to be able to share this the way we wanted to share it or the way we need to share it with people because of what it's done for us. And if it wasn't for this company, we wouldn't be able to share it at all because it would just be bad. Like it helped us get through that time when I didn't have an income.
I know I don't even know what to say next. I said to Justin, Justin doesn't show emotion. And I'm like, I think you might cry.
No, I'm not.
Come on, man. Don't do it.
I am.
If Chad cries, I'll cry.
Oh, I don't know if he's crying.
He's crying.
Yeah.
Oh, Chad.
My boy, though.
Oh, you O'Gara's, let me tell you,
Yeah.
I can't wait to hug you and see you at Rise Up and at Celebration. Seriously, because you know what? If it wasn't for you guys' belief in us, because the products do work, but that belief in doing something like that, I promise you. And I said it to Justin too at Super Saturday when he set that goal. I said, I'm not going to let you down. He said, don't worry about letting me down. Do this for yourself. And I've never had that. So much of that belief within myself I can do this. I mean, I'm spinning on a spin bike, a couple days ago, and I think my friend Katie, who's on my team, who just became a consultant, is on this call. And, I'm spinning with these people, and my head is down, and tears are in my eyes because I've had this epiphany, and I'm like, I am changing these people's lives. These people, be it, whether they've said yes or it's not now or it's soon, these people, they're coming with me and we're elbow to elbow and I'm showing them how important it is just to believe in themselves and just start and giving them that hope. And, my hope is all of them, are using Isogenics and changing, transforming their physical transformation, financial transformation, whatever it is. But I'm telling you this, or you guys have all told me, this is the vehicle. This is it. I finally, and instead of saying, I said it to Amy Van Holla today, I said, this seems too good to be true, but it also seems like this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And for the first time in my life to be able to say to my mom, Mom, I think I'm going to leave that job. I think I'm going to leave the job I've done for the last 8 years, the job that I know, not today. No, I'm not leaving it today. But am I going to? I am. I am going to make sure that I don't miss, an hour of my son's baseball game because I had to work late, or I'm going to miss, muffins with mom or something else because I'm taking care of somebody else's kids. I love kids, but I love helping the grown-ups too. I love helping the big people too. I just want to help, and I want to share, and I want to change people's lives the way that so many of you amazing people on here have changed my life. I'm going to pay that forward, and I'm going to, you guys, this Crystal Executive, that's not the only place I'm going. I'm going to the top. You watch. I am.
Get you guys fired up.
My first event was NYKO, Hilary, and I was at Lou's house, and I didn't go to the event. We were taking pictures on her TV when you got up and spoke, and I was like, someday, I don't know why, I can see myself doing that or being there or something. Oh, yeah.
And then you guys posted the picture of us guys at Carrie Michael's house, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's our picture.
So awesome.
It was crazy.
Well, we're so excited for you guys. Like, I know Justin wants to say something because he.
I do.
Come on, man.
No, we're happy for you. We're excited for you. Losing 100 pounds, 60 pounds, that's amazing. What's hard is getting up tomorrow and continuing. So, it's easy to lose weight, and stay motivated, but when you gain a pound, to stay motivated after that, but regardless of all that, it's just exciting that you're bringing people with you on your journey, instead of doing this all alone and having fun. And it's fun to shine, but it's also fun to have your people shine with you. So if you can keep that in the forefront of doing this, that's the most important thing of all this. You can lose 200 pounds, but if you do it by yourself, it's not that important. Right. So as many people as you can bring along this journey with you, and it's not about the money, it's about helping people. So just keep that up front, and we're excited for you guys.
Thank you for everything you and Hilary have done for us.
Yeah, you guys have helped so many people, and I know you're just getting started. I mean, that's what's exciting, like you said, and I think what you've done is awesome. Like, we're so excited for you. That's why I wanted you guys to share tonight, because I wanted people to hear your passion and your conviction. And I think that if you're listening to this and, you're trying to figure out why is my business not doing what theirs is, listen to their, if you just feel it, it's just so
You're
awesome.
fine. I'll be right back.
So, let me mute that again. You guys might have to unmute again. Okay. You just have to unmute again, Shannon. But we're so proud of you guys. It's so awesome. So their team did win a challenge that we put out. And so they're going to be at Celebration, and we're taking them to dinner and to the Grand Ole Opry. And it's going to be so much fun. And then to see Ryan get, recognized on stage for, what he's accomplished, 100 pounds is awesome.
I can't even believe it. Like,
not even, it's so
Justin told
no
me
words.
at that Super Saturday, he talked to Shannon about the business, and he talked to me, and he said, he says, it's going to be easy. But when you get down to that last 20 pounds and you don't lose right away, he says, that's when you're going to realize how tough you really are. And he goes, a lot of people quit in that last 20 pounds because they get frustrated, and it wasn't easy, man. I'm going to tell you, it wasn't easy, but I just kept thinking in my head, it's that 20 pounds, and I'm going to push through, and I'm going to do this for our team and for myself and for all those people that have believed in me, and I'm going to get through these last 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
So
Chad
proud of
O'Gara, went above and beyond to make sure you hit your results and helped out as well. So
yeah, that's
above and beyond.
He's way up on my scale of people.
Dr. Bravestone.
Dr. Bravestone.
I got a heart right here for you. You're incredible, man. I can't wait to hug you guys. I cannot wait.
Yeah, he definitely reached out and went above and beyond to make sure that this goal was attainable and kept me going. So,
Awesome. Well, we're just so proud of you, and we're excited to see you soon. So thank you guys for being on, and thank you for
Thank you for
sharing.
having us.
Absolutely. If you guys have not seen, like I said, their Facebook Lives, you got to go out and watch them because they're awesome. And so, guys, we'll be back on here next Monday night. We're going to have Delray Messer on next Monday night. She enrolled 31 people last week in 1 week.
That's insane.
31 people. And she's going to share with us. Yes, she's going to share with us what she did and how she was able to do that. So you want to be on next week. Make sure your team's on next week so you can get the tips from her. So, all right, everybody, thanks for being on. Good night.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.